Hello. It's a very quiet Sunday afternoon, and I'm doing some testing of some stuff on my computer. So, hello, Eagles. We're going to just crack on, basically, with harvesting the beetroots. The testing should hopefully be invisible to you guys, but not to my computer. It will only become visible to you if my computer gets more and more unhappy. I have switched the encoding from the GPU to the CPU. I don't know if it's going to make any difference or not. I know it's making the CPU work harder, but not excessively hard. It's still only at like 35%. So, in theory, that is not on properly, is it? No. In theory, it should make no difference because modern graphics cards have separate encoders built in. But I'm not convinced with laptop GPUs that it does, because it always seems to make a massive difference when I'm doing this versus doing other things. So, switch to doing this with the CPU. Because the game doesn't work the CPU very hard, it seems. So, we'll see how that goes. But I didn't want to test it on a live stream, obviously, because there's usually more than 3 people watching. So. No, reverse, lower, GPS on, go. Yeah, so currently waiting for the teenager to get home. She's driving back from uni today. So probably won't be back home till like 6 or something. So I'm going to do this for a little bit. Maybe even finish the field if it doesn't take me too long. Who knows? Or until things fall over, or the computer gets too hot, or many number of things. It's very warm here today, so we'll see. We'll see. How's your Sunday going, Eagles? Seeing you're the only person who said hello so far. Sunday afternoon, a sunny Sunday afternoon in England is probably a weird time to do this, but you know. Did think about adding music to these for when I don't feel like talking very much, which is kind of a bit like today. I didn't actually get round to enabling it, so that's the thing. Wow, that filled up very quickly. Hello, Monarchs. I have seen the thing. Well, I've seen that you've sent me a thing. I haven't looked at it yet. Saw it. Let's open the. I decided to be sensible and bring both trailers over as well. Yeah, I saw it when I went over to check that the notification had gone across, so I haven't actually had time to look at it yet. That sounds a little bit like my day. I did another cut of grass. It seems like I'm going to have to cut the grass every week at the moment, which sucks. Because I hate our grass. The 4 dogs being that the grass is very patchy. When it's long, it doesn't look too bad. It's a bit like a comb over when you start to lose your hair. But it seems to need cutting every week, and when I cut it, all of the dead spots start to appear. So, but we've had that horrible combination, if you don't want to have to cut your grass every week, of warm weather and rain. Great if you're a farmer, not so much if you don't want to have to keep cutting your grass. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I've had real trouble focusing today, so this is the But third thing that I have tried to focus on doing this afternoon, maybe not this afternoon, today in general. So I started off with a new mini series video thing that I'm doing on with the update to Animal Food Editions. It's probably going to be a series of mini series, starting with pigs and can I run a profitable farm with pigs, using Kale's other new map that released very recently, because there's a really nice pig farm on there. So started setting that up and doing that, and then got a bit distracted. So then I started recording a video on Valley the Old Farm and got a bit distracted by that, or from doing that. And then Mrs. D was struggling. She was asleep. I need to lower the header. She was asleep a bit earlier while I was doing gardening stuff, so she's gone to bed. So I thought, let's try and do this for a bit. I was wanting to test out CPU encoding anyway, so I did a little test on some other stuff, and it seemed to work, and yeah, it seems better. So two things have changed since the last time I was on here. I have switched to a better power supply, which I really don't get why there's a difference, because electrically they're supposedly the same. They have the same wattage, voltage, outputs, so should be the same. They are significantly different sizes, so you know. And I have switched from, as I said, GPU encoding to CPU encoding. The GPU is still maxed out because it gets maxed out running the game, but CPU is working just a little bit harder, but not a lot, because this laptop has a really nice CPU in it, and basically when I'm playing Farm Sim, it's basically almost asleep, so it's now having to work. Yeah, so I thought I'd test it, and also with the teenager coming home, this might get more complicated again. So it was a good opportunity to sneak one in. And until I started, the dogs were all really quiet and asleep, and now Joker's not, obviously, because, you know, that's how that works. How's your day going, Marnox? I asked Eagles. He's been doing his gardening. It's like a proper weekend job. That's what I was doing as well this morning. Yeah, you're going to get yourself a drink, Joker, or you're just going to go for a walk round? Or is it? I'm hoping it's not that time of the afternoon for him. He's going to sell, maybe. I've been watching some really interesting stuff. I don't know what. I could find out, actually. Yeah. I think. I don't know if it's just us, as in just the UK, but we have a different Mother's Day to everyone else. Because it's not Mother's Day here. But it seems to be in the rest of the world. So I hope you had a nice time, or at least a not bad time. Yeah, we've been watching Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix. It's really interesting. So they've been going around a bunch of ancient civilizations, and yeah. And the guy that's hosting it, whose name I have instantly forgotten, appears to have done a Joe Rogan podcast as well, which I might have to try and have a listen to. I haven't listened to the Joe Rogan podcast in forever. I used to listen to that quite a lot. Um, ah, that must be a tough one, Eagles. Yeah, I don't know if it is just the UK that has a completely different Mother's Day. Um, it always confuses me. I remember chatting to one of my American friends, and she was like, "Oh, it's Mother's Day this weekend," and me panicking, thinking that I'd missed it, and it wasn't, because in the UK it's different. So yeah, particularly as like the US are well, one of our colonies. Yeah, yeah. You don't really have a lot of choice to not learn to live with it, I guess, do you? As I get older, it's something that I become acutely aware of, particularly when my dad's been so ill so often in the last few years. Been a few far too scary moments with his health in particularly the last couple of years. Um, and he is definitely getting much older. So, and sometimes I think that I should, be a um, visit them more often and stuff. But I think, certainly my dad. My dad's a lot like me, so he realizes that there's reasons that I don't go and visit them as much. But it still doesn't make me. Sometimes it makes me feel a bit bad that I'm not don't visit them that often. Hello, Greg. Welcome. Yeah, both all of I say all of our parents, because Mrs. D has two sets of um, step parents now, I guess. Yeah. Um, all our parents are getting older because we're getting older, and it gets a bit worrying sometimes. Gets a bit worrying sometimes. They've all had a few health scares over the years. I need to actually let me do that. You're going to lose game sound for a minute. I had adjusted, and it seems to have forgotten the adjustments. I have to change the chat to, oh, where's it gone? Where's it gone? Settings. Chat settings. I have to put it into old man mode for reading. Chat appearance. Seems to, no, it's bigger. There we go. Even bigger. That's better. Now I can read the letters. Ah, Gerg, sorry. Greg. Gerg. I'm awful at names. Even now I've put it into bigger font. I am. I'm really worried that I need to get my eyes tested again. Well, I don't want to, because the glasses that I've got now the lenses were really expensive because they're very focal lenses. It might be that I just don't have the screen in the right place to be getting the right bit of the lens, because I've already got old man glasses. But sometimes they do feel like they're not quite the right prescription at the moment. Yes, I am playing by myself. I'm glad you phrased it that way. This is a single player game. I don't want to get to be that man, that person. No, I don't. Well, they are quite strong. I've got some Oakley prescription sunglasses that I've actually had now for... God, they must be... I think they're nearly 14 years old. It's got the original lenses in. Because my prescription hasn't changed that much. But they're good enough that I can still see. And they were right on the limit of what Oakley could do in a lens that would fit in their frames, and they are rather chunky. For a long time I always used to spend the extra to do whatever they would do to make the lenses thinner. I'm rather blind without my glasses. But yeah, I am kind of wondering if I should get my eyes tested, because I do find sometimes I take my glasses off when my eyes are getting tired. So, how much more have we got to deliver on this contract? But equally, I just don't want to spend the money on new lenses because I know it's going to be so expensive. This is going to deliver about half of what we need. Awesome. Yeah, I know. But I think... no, you cannot join me. It is not a multiplayer game. Yeah, having just spent like £600 having the car repaired. Teenager's car is being MOT tomorrow, which don't know what that's going to cost. The idea of spending money on having my eyesight, which sounds totally wrong, is, yeah, something I'll get sorted at some point. I did actually have a text from the opticians saying it had been a year since I had my eyes tested, which... as someone who's had glasses since they made glasses small enough to fit my face, and they realised I needed glasses, I went through a phase of having to have my eyes tested, I think, every 6 months, and then every year. And then for a long time, they were really stable. And I used to go probably every couple of years or so, or kind of as I needed. And now it feels like I've hit my mid-40s. It feels like I need to have them done more often. I know what I should have done is get the worker going to keep this going. Yeah. All these things about getting old that kind of suck. It's like having to go to doctors and opticians and... I am not that old, Monarchs. I am not that old. Yeah, basically my eyes stayed the same for pretty much ever. And then I went to get them tested last year, and they were like, you need varifocals now, sir. You've reached that age where you need different prescriptions for different things. Oh, thank you. Thank you for making me feel old. Maybe we can get both tipping. Cool. Yeah, I don't know if the meds can affect them, but... And I should probably just get them checked every year now anyway, but... I'm a typical man. I'm really bad at getting that kind of stuff done. And I'm guessing Eagles just doesn't use that spot in his vision. Because that's exactly what I would do. Which way am I going? And it's like the fact that I have to accept that my body just isn't capable of doing what it did when I was 20 years younger. Recovering from exercise is significantly harder than it was when I was much younger. And that I do not like either. Right, let's get this emptied. Then I can take over again. I'm hoping I actually get a half decent amount of beets off of here. Because otherwise this is not going to have been... I'm not going to have achieved what I wanted to have achieved, which was to get some feed for the sheep for the winter. Has that cornfield been harvested yet? Nope. It'll be time for more sensible things than motorbikes soon, Eagles. Well, they're saying that the friend who got me into bikes for the short period that I had bikes was quite a bit older, and he's still into bikes. Yeah, there's a reason that I didn't use the harvester that did boxes. There's two reasons, actually. Because there's always two reasons. One, the number of boxes. Because this is like the contract was 140,000 litres or something. And the second reason is you can't put those boxes into triggers. So I don't think... Or you can't put them into... Or you can only put them into triggers... You can't do certain things with the boxes from those harvesters, which I think is kind of annoying. Like, you can't put them into a feed mixer, I don't think. Which is not a problem for sheep, but... yeah. But it's okay, because we have the best root crop harvester in the world. Yeah, because the silo will have a trigger. I do like that all of these maps have multi-fruit silos on them. So the other one that I'm using, which I cannot remember the name of because I'm awful with names, as I keep saying, farm that I have brought on there has a really cool multi-fruit silo. It's just a really cool farm. It's a pig farm, and it's got a potato silo. You know, because you're doing pigs, so you're probably going to want to feed them potatoes. And like this, it's got a bale store and all that kind of stuff built in. It's really nice, really good. Yeah, definitely like his maps. Wondering if there are any other harvesting contracts that are worth us doing. We need soybeans. I don't think so. I just... Oh, we cannot destroy the crop. I might just skip some time after this. I think all our planting is in the summer, so it's a very nice map. It's a very nice map. He makes quite a lot of maps as well, and I know he reuses a lot of the same assets and like building packs and stuff. But this feels different enough to Fröhling. And he goes quite heavy on the trees and stuff, and but the layouts feel different enough. I've started playing on another one. It feels different. The farm layouts all feel different. So yeah. I like them. I think it's nice that they're quite small maps. So I think for doing this kind of stuff, small maps are nice because it's easier to get stuff done and like get to sell points. It's not like a 5-minute drive to get to a sell point like if you were on a 16x map. I did some stuff. I don't remember why. I was playing on one of the really big maps. I don't think it was for anything that I made into videos. I don't think. And it's like to get around the map, you need to have a proper truck to do moving kit and carting and stuff. And everything takes a really long time. So, which I know some people like. I know when I played, God, forgotten the name of the map. In FS19, it's one of the big maps in FS19. It's before I started making videos. And everything had to be moved on low loaders. I didn't mind it, it's like for one-off to play on the map, it was kind of fun. I was doing contracting on a map. I had lots of big kit. I had a few lorries with big low loaders, and to move the combines around, they went on the back of a lorry, and auto drive would take them across the map, and that kind of thing. But I think these days I would find that it would take me way too long to do stuff. I tend to like jobs to be a little bit snappier. I've got a nice, I think it's nice. I'm doing something a bit different on the Saxthorpe this week. I actually remembered one of my own mod review videos about how powerful a certain mod is for making cash. And after talking about ideas for productions and things, I thought that would be kind of cool. So we're going to get into a bit of market gardening on Saxthorpe this week. Saxthorpe's not not too big. And it's a map that does feel quite big, I think, for a normal size map. And having auto drive helps. But, you know, something like the Oaks, and thankfully I'm only playing on a little corner of the Oaks. But if you, like, getting around all of the Oaks, you'd probably want either fast tracks and things like that, or, let's say, putting stuff on low loaders, but I think you'd have a lot of fun trying to get stuff around the Oaks on a low loader. How are we doing? We have to deliver 35,400. Okay, so if we harvest another 5,400, get that in the trailers, and then the rest will be ours. So we're not going to get a huge amount off of here excess. We'll get a little bit. Get a little bit. We can always use the cash, I guess, to buy some pallets of something we can feed. I expected we would have got more, but I don't think I've done a beetroot contract before. I think whether you use big or small kit, it was a good job there weren't hedge collisions on core farms. Getting around that map seemed to be a challenge, whatever you used, pretty much. Yeah, we really are not going to get much of an excess here. Like, maybe a few 100 litres. Which sucks. I watched, I'm a week behind on Kartek's Fairhead series. I'm very behind on most videos that I normally watch. I'm looking forward to seeing what you two got up to when I watch the next one. Delivered 35,400. Okay, so we just want a little bit more. There we go. When you were helping, supposedly. And then I'm going to keep harvesting and see if I fill the harvester with the rest of it, because the rest of it's ours. So. This week I am travelling again, but I'm staying in a new hotel. See, this is what I used to have to deal with having to do most of the work. And prep and set everything up. Not always, actually. Not always. We do have plans to resurrect our multiplayer stuff soon. Soon. thank you for the subscription, the Fisher J. That is very much appreciated. You set off the little tractor thing. How you doing? You have doubled the number of subscribers that I have. Yeah, I'm not too bad. Quiet Sunday afternoon. Waiting for the teenagers to get home from uni. So with what we have planned, there might be benefit in that. I haven't spoken about to Kartik about that, but depending on, I don't know when you do the Fairhead stuff, because we kind of have a fixed slot when we record the multiplayer stuff, but yeah, that might actually be helpful. I think it's going to be probably another couple of weeks, and we should be bringing that back, hopefully. So we usually record those on a Friday after we both finish work. Yeah, Fridays usually are Farm Sim multiplayer recording slot. I'm quite surprised actually. I might have got way more than I thought off this last row. Well, that's all done. So we just need to go deliver everything. I'm going to leave that there for now. We will go deliver this, and then we'll take the excess hopefully back. That would about work, Eagles, but obviously I would need something that needs discussing with Mr. Kartik. So, yeah. With some of the things that we have that I suspect we will be doing, it might be useful occasionally to get you guys on there. Knowing the scale of some of the jobs. Finishing that didn't take as long as I expected. I was going to say about skipping time, but actually I think we need to cut grass. So I might save that for next time. And I think I got partway through saying, before I got that nice happy notification from the Fish J, that this week I am away, but I'm in a different hotel, and so I don't know if their internet will be open enough that I can do this while I'm away, or if I will have one of the other things I want to try is if I've got 5G signal, if I can do it through 5G on my phone, because the data rate that I use is not that high. So see you later, Monarchs. I'm probably going to end things once I finish the contract. So it's I don't want to start another job now. I'm not... I find after about an hour and a quarter, an hour and a half, I start to flag massively. I find the 2 hours that we do for Terra Life is right at my limit. So I'd rather keep these ones shorter and I stay fresher. And so that's the nice thing about doing a small map, is all of the jobs are kind of bite size. So I might do a few more bits and pieces, but probably won't be going for maybe another quarter hour or so. Excellent. I can tip both trailers again. Now, did I think I leased the big trailer. Yeah. So what we'll do is we will return that here. And I'll just take the little trailer back. Oh, stop. Cool, so we've got a reasonable amount. So let's unhook that one. Return that one. So we did actually get about 10,000 litres of beets off of that contract, which is not bad. And we got 8 grand. Nice. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'm going to have a check of the sales. See if there's anything worth us purchasing that we need. Because there's a lot that we need still. And actually, I've changed my mind on the... Because I was thinking about selling the Unimog, but I've changed my mind. I think we're going to keep it. It's turned out to be very useful. Down here. I also like that because it's a small map, I'm learning my way round quite quickly. Of the bits that I've driven multiple times. It's not taking me forever to work out how to get around the map, which is quite nice. Go straight through here because I think the tip is inside. Let's do a left tip. There we go. I still want to buy field 29 and maybe one of the other small long fields would be good too. Let's park that there. Let's take that back to the farm. So here we got over 10,000 litres excess. I think the map is quite hard, and if the fields are expensive, definitely hard. It's not one that I found most mappers don't change the price of the fields, but I think the biggest shock for me on something like that was going from Maypole, where have had made the land really cheap, to going to other maps where it was the default price again. Productions are your friend, I am learning. That homebrew mod that I'm using on Saxthorpe is really good. That seems to be making me 100,000+ a month off of manure and slurry. That's pretty good. And it's really cheap as well. So if you've got animals, it's a really cheap way of making cash. Possibly more effective than a BGA early on because it is so cheap. And you get fertilizer and herbicide to use, so you don't have to buy it. I should do a video on that mod because it's really cool actually. And once you get a bit bigger, yeah, definitely, and definitely the spinnery. There's the one that I had on Greenlands that will go all the way to close. That's very, very effective. The other one is the hydroponic greenhouses rather than the normal greenhouses. They're pretty good. This will give you an idea of the things I've been looking at recently. And modular greenhouses are very good. And you don't have to go huge. There's a bit of a spoiler for Monday. You don't have to make huge modular greenhouses because they're modular and you can use other things to close them up. That's what I've been experimenting with a little bit. And yeah. Yeah. Is that like the open gardens? I used that on Furling, didn't I? The Omatana open gardens I used. They're really good for... I was using those for producing the sugar beet that I needed for feeding the animals that I had. And they were a really good, cheap way of doing that. Yeah. The thing that I like about the homebrew one is that it's very hands-off. And I'm not even bothering to take the stuff to a sell point anymore. I just set it to auto sell and it brings in a ton of cash. I just do it every, when I need a lump of cash, I just set the thing to auto sell and it generates a ton of cash. And I'm going to do the same with the new production. I'm just going to fill it with stuff. I'm not going to be dealing with... I'm not going to play Pallet Simulator. That's not my idea of fun. So I'm going to just leave the trailer there and take the Unimog back over. Yeah, that garden thing actually might be useful. The open garden one of those might be useful on here for feeding the sheep. If we... I need to work out if we've got enough beets or not, because otherwise I might stick one of those at the top of the grass field. Because we've got more than enough grass field. Hello, the average Viking. How is your Sunday going? I'm pretty sure I don't have those installed. They're productions, aren't they, I guess? Or are they greenhouses? Might have to add those in, actually. Ooh, there's an allotment garden. And thank you for the gifted sub, Fisher J. Wow. You are really, really making huge changes. It's got onions. Oh. I feel like it would be foolish if we didn't have a look at one of these before we finish. So it looks like it's just water, isn't it, to make onions? Are onions worth anything? That was a random find. I guess they're going to be near the bottom of the list. No. Let's find onions. Yeah. I quite like the idea of growing some onions. I have no idea if this is going to be profitable at all, but hey. So That's the foundation of every good garden. Let's not put concrete down first, because yeah. And I guess we could, because it's growing in boxes, isn't it? So let's put a bit more concrete down. Concrete. There we go. This feels so much more random than how I normally play, but you know. Which way around do we want? Let's have it that way around. So they spawn away from the road. There we go. So yes, I'm going to need a water trailer. Are we still making more? We are. And we're going to produce 672 litres of onions a month. Okay. Doesn't feel like very many, but you know. Is there, I wonder if there's a water attachment for the, for this. That holds water, it's 20 grand. I'm not paying 20 grand for a water tank. We'll pay 2.5 grand for a water tank. I better make sure I set the buy point. Now what I need, and I don't know if anyone that's left has also played on here, because Monarchs has left, is, are there any water points on the map, or do I need to stick in a, do I need to stick something in? I always rely on just putting them in. I don't know which ones I've got installed. And I'm guessing I don't have a nice cheap one installed. No, I do not. Okay. I don't know if there's any water on the map. Water. There we go. There is. Let's go get some water. Oh, there's weeds growing in our field as well. That will be a job for next time, I suspect. We're going to have to spray those. I've not got precision farming running, so that doesn't really matter, actually. Quite happy to spray those off. Okay. Okay. Why do I drive so fast? Because it's on the road. Why would I drive slower? vehicle does 80 kilometers an hour. And there are no police or speed cameras. And there's no alien to make me drive slower today. Driving slowly is for Thursdays and Fridays. Right. Let's get some onions going. And then we'll go have a quick check of the sheep, I think. And I think that will make a nice little thumbnail. Cool. So, oh, perfect. I brought exactly the right trailer. See if we've got any more wool that's worth moving. And we'll check on one of my new favourite mods by Akimobile, the name of which I have forgotten again. The one that adds the grazing buffer to the info. So we still have grazing buffer left, which is good. And there's actually still grazable grass in the field, which is even better. So we are, so they're a few months away from having lambs, which is cool. The lambs will be being sold. And there is 55 litres of wool. That is not worth moving, I don't think. And we have our first pallet of fabric, which is only at half its value so far. So no, definitely not worth selling. No, not quite, no. But definitely not worth selling it. Hello, Zoots. Wow, people are suddenly starting to appear, which is kind of ironic because I'm almost done. So the last job, I'm not sure if the grass is going to grow again into November. So I'm not sure whether I should just cut it in October or whether I should push into November and maybe get more. My reading of the growth files has my ability to read the growth files has kind of slipped, and there is potentially one more growth transition that will give us another 30% yield, which would be quite nice. But we have already got 70,000 litres of hay, which is more than enough to feed the sheep through winter. So, yeah, I might save that one for next time and do a little bit of a test and see if it's going to grow or not. Because I feel that's something that in real life I would maybe know. I don't know. Yeah, Now a quick check of the sales, and then I think we will be done. Wow, what is that thing? That's a tree planter. Okay. That's a tree harvester. That's an interesting tree harvester. Hmm. I have to have a play with that on other saves. No, we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need the riggy track. That is probably worth buying, actually. We do need a planter. 150 horsepower. The Unimog will run that. That won't. Trucks. Miscellaneous. That won't. Okay, so we'd have to use it on the Unimog. What else have we got? $180 horsepower, 120 horsepower, 3 meter cultivator, 5 meter cultivate, 180. Again, I think the Unimog would run at that, yeah. Because if we buy that, that is not a direct drill. But we will be doing sunflowers and maybe sugar beets for the sheep. So I'm going to buy both of those. And that, there we go. And that's going to be it for today. So thanks for stopping by, everyone. Thank you, Fisher J, for your sub and the gifted sub. That's awesome. I will see folks next time.